I wish to acknowledge Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Environment with responsibility for the blue economy, PS Sonia Foster. And I also recognize the Director of the Coastal Zone Management Unit, Dr. Leo Brewster. And to all of you, staff members and members of the media, a very pleasant good morning to you. I like your shirts. I have to keep saying that. And my size is medium, by the way. Just saying. So this morning, as we celebrate Blue Fest, we are launching your new logo. A new logo that I'm sure will strongly solidify the mission and the purpose of Coastal Zone Management Unit. Your tagline is a coast to be proud of. And I asked the question, which coast? And Dr. Brewster said, well, there can only be one coast, and that is our Barbadian coast. And as we turn into our independence season, our Republic, our Barbados Day, I'm sure Barbadians are equally proud of what we have developed over the years. And there are a lot of landmarks that we can certainly speak of. And the Barbados, the Coastal Zone Management Unit can be deemed a Bajan landmark. Because you are celebrating how many years? 40 years. And that is a landmark on its own. But the work that you have done, the work to promote our Barbadian coast, the work that you've done to ensure the protection of the same, the work that you've done to educate and bring public awareness to what is Barbadian can certainly be saluted. And so this morning we add to that as you're about to bring a new look, a change. Your logo really and truthfully does speak about the unit and what you are all about. And so with those few remarks, I will now invite Dr. Leo Brewster, Director, to offer the opening remarks.
Now, Bluefest for us is something that is unique for the last couple of years, because when we were under the Ministry of Maritime Affairs and the Blue Economy, the former minister had come up with the idea of celebrating what we do at least once a year. And fortunately for us, we've had a steadfast PS who's insisted that that continue into the future. And that is what we do. So every department within the ministry is supposed to have an active component during the year, during the week, which is Bluefest. And as part and parcel of what we are doing, fortunately for us, we are now looking to go into our 40th anniversary next year, 2023. And as part and parcel of that work, we had to give serious consideration to what we considered significant for us. A lot of people have recognized the coastal logo for a long time in terms of what it has meant in terms of the protection of the nearshore environment, the protection of the reefs and the nearshore facilities, and our interaction as the median between the land and the sea. But in terms of how we had to move forward, as part of the work that we did under the Coastal Risk Assessment and Management Program, we had a significant component that looked at the institutional strengthening of the office and stakeholder consultation and involvement in that process, and the development of a strategic plan moving forward. And one of the things that came out of that study was the need for a rebrand for the office, because it was felt that we were now at a stage where, because the blue economy was starting to become prominent, and because we were now part of a ministry of the blue economy, it was essential to us to turn our focus to the ocean and to look towards what opportunities there are and will be out there for us in all that we do. Coastal rose to the challenge, and we in our own right recognize that we will have to be one of the mainstay forces for the blue economy drive within any ministry that we are put in, and we took that challenge on head on. The design of the logo that you see behind me is as a result of consultation with all the staff, and this is what the logo designers came up with, and it encapsulates all that we are in a significant way. We are very proud of this logo, and as you see, we all wear it as a branding now as to who we are, what we do, and where we are going. I think that is also important to recognize that with the upcoming 40th anniversary, there are going to be several activities that we will be doing next year, all within the theme of blue economy activities, as well as working extensively closely with our Ministry of Environment in several of those activities as well. And we look to ensure that as we move forward, our focus will continue to be the, I don't want to say the defenders of the coast, because people who are Game of Thrones lovers understand what it means to stand on the wall. And for those that don't, if you remember the movie A Few Good Men, you'll remember the scene that Jack Nicholson said that when you stand on the wall, you are the last line of defense. And that is how we view ourselves in this office when it comes to the protection, preservation, and enhancement of our coastline. We ensure that we have a sustainable coastline that we can be proud of. We would like all developers, all property owners, and everybody else to join in that crusade to ensure that every beach that you see is something that every public person can access. Not only that, that you have a clear conscience in terms of how you recognize the significance and importance of that coastal space for the public, that you look to protect and preserve the ecosystem resources that are found therein, as large and as small as they may be, and that you will be working with us to ensure that from now on into the future, we have a coast to be proud of, that you will work with us as we look to expand the blue economy space for Barbados, together with other entities, including the BIDC, including the Department of Emergency Management, including the Energy Division, including the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the list goes on, because we are intent upon ensuring that the blue economy becomes a place of prominence within the Barbados economic environment as well. Thanks a lot.
I now invite P.S. Foster to offer the featured remarks.
Today we continue to tell the story of the blue economy under the Bluefest banner. The blue economy continues to be an emerging concept that seeks to encourage better use of our ocean's resources. Importantly, it highlights the linkages between the ocean, climate change, and the well-being of our people. Accordingly, we must maximize the immense potential as it relates to economic growth, protection of our marine environment, and promoting sustainable development now and in the future. The key role of oceans in climate change and disasters clearly requires to deepen our understanding of the ocean's behaviors and their relation to the atmosphere and the earth to effectively predict and mitigate such natural phenomena. As such, we must continue to place the blue economy at the forefront of all of our resilience planning and development. Today, we have come to celebrate the Coastal Zone Management Unit, or CZMU as I would refer to them after, by the rebranding of its logo. To those of you who may not be familiar, I'm speaking to the wider Barbadian public, with the CZMU, the term unit may give the impression that this is a small, insignificant department. Indeed, one definition of unit is an individual thing or person regarded as single and complete, but which can also form an individual component of a larger or more complex whole. However, I would suggest to you that the CZMU is in fact that larger or more complex whole. And while other government agencies which started out with unit as part of their terminology have changed to department or division, the CZMU has been content to keep that designation. The CZMU was born out of a need to address the growing concern over the perception of coastal erosion affecting developing coastlines of Barbados and the urgent need for coastal zone management as a means to address the issues causing the beach erosion. This was especially important since the island by the early 1980s had changed the course for economic development, which until then heavily relied on sugar, to one that relied almost exclusively on beach tourism. First created in 1983 as the Coastal Conservation Project Unit, the CZMU was formally established in 1996 as a department within government. And although the primary focus of the unit was monitoring beach erosion and poor reef health and relating those impacts to changes in coastal conditions around the island, this mandate has expanded to include, among other things, nearshore oceanographic data collection, coastal engineering design, evaluation, and assessment, coastal development planning assessment, significant public education and awareness outreach initiatives, coastal project execution, integrated coastal zone management planning, coastal risk assessment, and I can go on and on. One of the significant achievements of the unit has been the National Coastal Risk Information Planning Platform, or NCRIP. This has been acknowledged as an innovative tool developed for Barbados, consisting of software on which different layers related to coastal and non-coastal risks are available at the national level that can be used to perform damage assessments and counterfactual analysis. A very critical tool, especially as we seek to navigate the incidence of climate change. Over the years, the CZMU has generated areas of related interest and close collaboration with departments within the ministry, for example, the Fisheries Division. And I must mention here that today is the official beginning of the fishing season. The National Conservation Commission, the Environmental Protection Department, as well as with associated external ministries and departments such as Leah would have mentioned, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, the Ministry of Tourism and International Transport, the Planning and Development Department, and the Department of Emergency Management. The reach of the unit has understandably gone beyond our shores, with the director and other officers representing Barbados at international conferences, discussing topics such as biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction, and on various committees such as the Commonwealth Secretariat's Blue Charter Action Groups. They have also lent assistance over the years to neighboring islands with the establishment of their own coastal zone units. Back at home, the current work of CZMU involves the process of regularizing the establishment of the Marine Managed Areas Unit under the ministry structure. Once created, the CZMU will hold a series of public meetings focused on the establishment of marine managed areas, as well as the role and function of the unit. Another significant undertaking, now in its initial stages, is the preparation of a marine spatial plan for our territorial waters and exclusive economic zone. This is a 5 to 7 year program that will engage with all sectors operating in the coastal and maritime space to produce an orderly framework for the long-term development and sustainable management of our blue environment jurisdiction. The rebranding of the unit's logo, therefore, is not a superficial exercise, but in the wake of celebrating its 40th year in 2023, it speaks to a coming of age, a time to look back on where you've come from, what you have achieved, a time for critical perspective. What is required to move the unit forward for the next generation? I can assure you that the unit is in good hands, as we have a cadre of young professionals with the passion and dedication needed to take it to another 40 years. We look forward to welcoming others as the work of the unit expands even further. I therefore wish to congratulate the CZMU on its achievement as a unit and to acknowledge that my close association with you over the past 3 years has truly been a rich educational experience. I wish you every success going forward. Thank you.
As with most offices, when you go in, you normally have your vision statement and your mission statement presented. The majority of the staff have always known what our vision and mission is, and this was changed, like we said, as part of the institutional strengthening study to focus on not only the coast but also the marine space and to capture the sustainability, hazard resilience, and climate change considerations that we were focusing on as part of the Coastal Risk Assessment and Management Program. And the primary mission now that we have is to focus on a national risk resilient integrated coastal zone management policy and plan, which if you go to our coastal website, you will find is still there because we successfully completed that last year. I think it's also important to note that by design, the logo is supposed to capture the concept of the linkage between the green and blue economy and the transition space being the coast that we are proud of, captured in the trident. And the sand moving out to the dark blue is in essence looking at from the beaches out to the deep ocean, where our blue economy focus is now going to be centered. By its given nature, we also wanted it to focus on the fact that we are coastal, we are strong, and therefore it stands out from the background as you look at it. Okay, so As part and parcel of our rebranding activities, we've also rebranded our website to encompass some new information that we will be rolling out, hopefully for an official launch in January. But we're almost complete now, and we figured that as part of this whole rebranding exercise, we would just also do the presentation now.
Alrighty, so this morning, as Dr. Brewster said, we are just going to have a quick preview of what the website is eventually going to look like. So this is it in its pre-launch form. So, fairly standard website elements. So we have an image slider where we'll be able to publish the kind of latest news stories and interesting things that we want to kind of highlight on the site. We also, when you scroll down the page, you'll be able to go straight to the information pages for the three major sections within the coastal management unit, being the coastal engineering section, the planning section, and the marine research section. We'll also be able to publish surveys. So if you want to get some feedback from the public, like for this example, how many beach are people okay with the number of beach chairs that are found on our beaches? So you'll be able to cast your vote, and we'll be able to collate those results. Some more information about the unit a little bit further down, and then we'll have some coastal education information. So, for instance, we published as part of the institutional strengthening component of the coastal assessment management program, we came up with a set of information materials for the general public. So one of them was the My Coast Guide. So you'll be able to get some more information on how we manage the coast in general from this section. Just some statistics on the activities that Coastal does on a regular basis, including beach profiles, water quality monitoring, assessing planning applications, processing research permits for like coral reef research, etc. Calendar of events, if there's any additional news articles, and then just the location of the unit. And in terms of the activities that Coastal does, or the legislation that Coastal falls within, so we'll have information on CZMU policy, additional information on the Integrated Coastal Zone Management Plan, which we recently updated. So there'll be a full set of information on the Integrated Coastal Zone Management Plan, the different sections, how it applies to everyone. And then in terms of our projects and programs that Coastal has executed or is executing, such as the Coastal Risk Assessment and Management Program, we'll have detailed information on these different activities. So for instance, Coastal Risk Assessment and Management Program is broken down into 3 components. So we'll have pages for each component and the information associated with that. And this section will also going to be including information on our ongoing activities, such as the development of a marine spatial plan, such as the work that we're doing with the DEM in terms of tsunami readiness. So all those information on all those types of programs will be going in this section. And then we'll have further information for the public, information on our the videos that we've done over the years will be available, images, more information on the marine buoys that Coastal has deployed and the information associated with them, general glossary of terms, and then forms for different purposes, so reporting of any kind of marine incident. If people want to request coral research permits, they do it through the website. Report coral bleaching, etc. And then in the About Us section, general information about Coastal, what its founding is, the mission, the vision, further information in that regard. We'll also have information on the different sections of the CZMU, and we'll also have detailed information on the staff complement. So it'll be information on the posts and the images of the people who are currently represented in those posts. And then we'll have, for people who want to participate in some internship programs that Coastal has every year, they'll be able to fill out the application here and submit it to us, and then we'll make a determination at that point. So it's going to be, similar to the existing site, but it's going to have a lot of enhanced sets of information, more detailed information on different activities that Coastal is doing. We're also hoping to integrate more more functionality as in terms of being able to look at coastal maps in relation to the ICCN plan and in relation to marine hazards and coastal hazards and those kinds of things. So that's where we're going with the website, and we're excited to launch it in the next few weeks, and then we'll also put out some public information at that time as well.